Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Hope you're all doing well. I've just looked at, that's red this morning, isn't it, in the background there. I think we need to change that. Don't know what's happened there with that setting. Let me get that changed first and foremost. I don't want you all having a Connery. Give a sec while I change the lighting. I know what you... Red is the colour. Let's have a change. What should we change that to? Let's have a look. What are we on? Should we go sleepy? I'm feeling sleepy, so don't like that. Ibiza. Let's go for Ibiza. See what Ibiza gives us. Boom. There we go. I'll be back with you now. Just 1 second. And like a strip joint. Yeah. There you go. Got Ibiza settings now. Tiki Taka Tanaka. Make sure you check it out. Back for clothing. Another tea dropped. Make sure you use the link in the description. Hope you're all doing well. Listen. First and foremost, before we talk about some fresh transfer links that I'm a little bit confused about, truth be told, especially when it comes to the left-back situation. But what I want to do is just give my thoughts on last night. Happy with the point, 100%, Ange, Tony, sorry. I think there's a lot of faux outrage at the minute with regards to the actual result and what transpired at Turf Moor. A lot of people critical of the manager for not potentially going for it. I think most fans, I know myself anyway, I can only speak for myself, and some takes I see, would have been happy with the point pre-game. The way the game developed, I think out of the two teams, one team tried to win it, and that was us. I think the onus is on Burnley in a sense because we're top. You come and beat us. They didn't do that. That's hence why. How mad is it that a team are 17 games unbeaten at home and are 11th in the home form table? That should tell you all you need to know about that, about Burnley and their tactics. Yeah. Defensively, they're phenomenal. Yeah. They're great at the back. I thought Esteve was probably the man of the match. I thought he was great. And I think as defenders, they're potentially better than what we've got as defenders. But I think obviously ours are a little bit more expansive. I mean, Egan Riley was at times, but I like Rodon. He's great at defence, but he's great at bringing it out from the back into midfield and then and playing passes. I'm not saying they can't do that, but I just think as a defensive unit they're decent. But people want to be critical of our manager, not throwing caution to the wind. There was people at halftime wanting 4 changes in my chat. I think that's wild. You're really opening the game up there, and there's no need to. Leeds United are top. A point would have meant that we still have 3 points on them. The focus, or it wasn't on us to go win that game. Genuinely, I don't think it was on us to go win that game. It's on them. It's a point away from home. Michael says we could have gone for a win. We could have, and we could have lost. I don't think I'm happy with the point. There seems to be massive critiques of the manager for maybe some selection decisions. I would have liked to have seen Firpo. I said that. But Byron was good yesterday. Okay, going forward, he has to cut on. We didn't have an overlap run for Solomon and stuff. I get it. But I thought he was good yesterday. He dealt with the threat of Anthony. Would that have been the same with Junior? We don't know. The ball was out there all the time, but Byron was stuck to him like glue. So we have to give props to Byron for that. I thought Gruev was good, very good. It's harsh on Rothwell. Yes, I agree. But the game called for that, especially when you consider Cullen, Laurent, and Brownhill in midfield. And like the manager said after the fact, Brownhill really didn't have an impact on the game, not as much as he normally would. I can't disagree with the manager on that decision. I felt that would be the case. I said it would be the same lineup. I made the prediction and I said Gruev will come in for him. And I also felt that Firpo would come in. Firpo didn't. And maybe there is a reason for that, folks. But we need to chat about Firpo because Leeds United have been linked to a left-back this morning, which I'm a little bit confused about. So Leeds have inquired about a left back this morning, which we'll get into, and it's from David Ornstein. It's top tier. It's bomber. These are actual proper links now we're seeing. But Leeds have been linked to a left back this morning at a Premier League club, which we'll get to in a sec. So stay tuned. But yeah, so that maybe there's something in that with the Firpo situation. Maybe he's saying that, I'm speaking elsewhere. I'm not too sure. I don't think there is, but I think there's more so. It's a case of he just wanted the defensive solidity. He wanted the defensive solidity of Sam Byram. That's all I see it. Now, he did bring on Ramazani and he brought on Joseph, and this isn't a critique of them, but they also did nothing. Ramazani lost the ball a few times. Joseph ran around a bit. And I'm not being critical of them. And I know people will say, oh, well, he only had so many minutes, etc. But he made some changes that people wanted. And they also didn't have the desired effect. You can only play what's in front of you. I just don't get the outrage from it. Leeds United are still top. We've actually gained a point on Sheffield United. This could have been a hell of a lot worse, considering the opposition that both teams played. Sheffield United played at Hull and Sunderland played against Plymouth. And Sunderland got a point and Sheffield United got beat 3-0. We went to one of our rivals and got a point away from home. Happy days. We move. We got Cardiff at home at the weekend. We know how good we are at home. We get 3 points. Boom. We're flying again, aren't we? Again, the onus isn't on Leeds United to go win them humdinger games. People won't want to hear this. I do the same at Sheffield United. Do the same at Sheffield United. I think it'll be an easier game because they'll actually want to come and play. But for me, someone said it earlier, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. This wasn't a cup tie. This isn't the game to throw caution to the wind and just think, do you know what, let's just win it. Could understand if there were 4 games left to go, 5 games, maybe even 10. But there's 17 games left to be played. This isn't the game to go, do you know what, last 15 minutes, let's just throw everything at it. What, and lose on the counter? Lose your defensive shape. Take out Gruev, put in Rothwell. Give more joy to Brownhill. Take off Byron, bring on Firpo, let Anthony have more space to operate in. These are all factors that we have to take into consideration, folks. And I actually enjoyed the game. I know it might be boring. I thought the first half was much better than the second, but it was two games, two teams that are very good tactically. We have won twice against top 8 teams. Manji, we beat all the teams at the top of the division last season. It's irrelevant, pal. Genuinely, it doesn't matter where you are in the table. These are the facts. Last season, we couldn't beat teams in the bottom 8, beat everyone in the top 8. We still didn't go up. It doesn't matter who, what, why, where, when, what you beat, as long as you beat. You've mentioned this here, and there may be something in that, but what I would say in response to you is Sunderland played bottom of the table Plymouth, drew at home. Hull went to relegation zoned Hull. Sheffield United played at home, relegation zone Hull, and got beat 3-0. Again, it's irrelevant. It is genuinely irrelevant. You've just got to win games. Doesn't matter where they are in the table. Because, again, the perfect point is Leeds United beat we beat Leicester twice. We beat Ipswich twice. Obviously, we didn't beat Southampton, but we beat, West Brom. We beat all these teams, and guess what? We didn't. We didn't win. We didn't go up. There's a game of chess between the managers. Exactly, mate. This is the thing. Told you Matteo 8-1, didn't I? I told a few people. My mate texted me, I'm in bookies. Shall I go both teams to score? Leeds win. I was like, no, stay away. And that's fine though, Manji. For me, that's fine. I'm not bothered about that. But out of the two sides, who was more likely? Bearing in mind we're away from home. Out of the two sides, who was more likely? Who had the more shots? Who had the more touches in the opposition box? Who tried to create something? Who made attacking substitutions, or maybe not structurally, but who made changes? Joseph, Ramazani both entered the pitch. Who made them changes? Leeds United. Leeds United tried, at least. So if you're critical of the manager, I mean, try doing Parker week in, week out, because that's how they play. This is how I've said to you all the time. They're better away from home than they are at home because they don't change their style. You know, oh, Ryan, exactly. Same people want to make changes. Oh, this, and that. I think it's so. I've come to the. If you've woke up this morning still angry about last night, you have to face the facts that you are a negative person. That's the way I see it. You don't have to agree with me, but if you've woke up this morning getting a point away from home at Burnley at the shrewdest defence, the best defence since 1921-22 in terms of shots on their goal, you know, if you're still negative at that point, you are a negative person. I'm sorry. Matty says, instead of people being pissed off with how about we credit Burnley on being tough shit houses to put it down and move on. Go stuff Cardiff now and we move. Yeah. It was a point away. Is that not Farker's plan? Exactly, Richard. Not sure what Parker's plan is. Yeah, exactly. Did they show it? We never even tested them defensively. I disagree, Ernie. We did. You know, there was again touches in opposition box. I think we had about 18 to their 4, something like that. We did. We did try. We had the shot at target that was saved from James Trafford. There was a few bursts into the box from Jadon Bogle. I don't think it's as bad as people are making out. I genuinely don't. Point is a point. They all add up. Yeah. Yeah, we're fine. We tried to win. Didn't make any mistakes to cost us anything. Exactly. And that's where I think as well, had Leeds United have potentially made all these attacking changes, 50 minutes at half time, 60, 65, it could have left us open. It really could have left us open. So, we gotta think about that. Not negative about the result, just the actual game was so boring. Absolutely hate negative football. I didn't actually mind the first half. I thought the second half was pretty turgid, and I thought when the changes were made for both sides, it made it even more disjointed. It wasn't great. All Burnley had was the long ball to Anthony, and Byram did well to shut it down. And you have to ask yourself the question. I'm not saying Firpo wouldn't have dealt with it by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that's a bearing as to why Byram played. He's good in the air. He's good defensively. All these factors will have been played in. Obviously, they have analysts. They'd have had a look at what Burnley's strengths are, what their thought process was, and it probably will have been along the lines of, look, they're going to get it out to Bashir Humphreys, and then they look for that crossfield ball. They look for that, long ball. If it's not going out to Anthony, a lot of it was getting peppered up towards Jan Fleming, which of course was dealt with by Rodon or Ampadu, and if it did go out to the right hand side, our left, it was dealt with by Byron. That's all they had, really. That is all they had in their arsenal, if you like, and we dealt with it with ease. We dealt with it with ease, folks. So again, I'm not concerned about it. So look, we get a point while Sheffield dropped points and they have conceded 9 goals all season. People acting like we lost points. We actually gained one as well. Exactly. We gained one on Sheffield United. Yes, exactly. 3 at home, 1 away. That's the mantra. Exactly, Leeds, man. Had Leeds gone for it and we lose the game, it'd have been getting criticised for that as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having the... Look... Let's say we go for it and we lose the game. The people who were saying it's negative now in my chat, would they have this morning gone, well, at least he went for it, lads? No, they wouldn't. I know for a fact they wouldn't. Danny B, big up, says, like I messaged you last night, it's the financial future and stadium redevelopment at stake on going up. They are at work doing a job. They don't care if people are entertained. It's work for them. Yeah. It's about getting points, win your prizes. Yeah. Commentators on Sky were acting like Leeds were the home team with constant criticism. Well, I think we were the only team that went to try and go win it. A small percentage of people critiquing Solomon after last night. It was, oh, well, that's piss poor. Oi, Bab. If that's the case, if they're looking at that now, and I can imagine the people that are, as a way, the guy's been the best. Him and Bogle have probably been the standout players for the last few weeks. Could argue Bogle just based on last performances, but he's been key player. And if you're using that as a say now, oh nah, come on, have a day off, as you say, old Bab, have a day off. No, not true, Joe. Just not happy we're going to play for a draw and we didn't go for it. That's the issue. It was a negative game. That's why everyone is pissed. It looks like we'd agreed before the game. Yeah, and I think if you're still negative at this moment in time, then you're a negative person, Christopher. A point isn't a bad game. Point isn't a bad result. Sorry. Agree. I have to agree with this. I know. Definitely. From a Fark out guy, I would have taken the point before the game. I do think if Fark was quicker and better with subs, we would have won that, but I'm happy. I don't know how you can say that. I mean, I thought defensively they were quality. Which changes then, Lodi, would you have changed? Because he brought on Ramazani. He brought on Ramazani and Joseph, and that didn't have the desired effect. So what else? What else would you have done? What quicker? Firpo's a good shout. I agree with you on that. What else? Rothwell, is it as simple as Rothwell? Just swap him for Gruev. I think that's what people think. There's still some people on Twitter calling him number. Yeah, but that is pathetic. Keep politics out of football. It's pathetic. Do I think point is fine away, but Firpo and Rothwell not coming on does kind of show we didn't want to risk losing it. And that's fine, Thomas, though. I'm okay with that. That's the point. I'm not disagreeing with people's point there. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I didn't want to lose it. So why throw caution to the wind? Take the point and move. Take the point and move. Got Cardiff at home. What's the point? You got the best defence in the league, best keeper in the league, and that they can catch you on the counter. You know, we have to be wary of this. I know this will ruffle feathers, but well, he did nothing again when he came on, and I'm not hampering him. I don't think he's dog shite, but you know, everyone who's saying like just change it. Well, we made 2, and they would have been everyone's favourite players, but they came out. No one's talking about that. No one won't be saying, well, the changes when he did make it. I've heard the square ball lads say it, to be fair, but the changes when he did make, they did nothing either. But they won't do that. They won't look at what he did. They'll look at the Firpo, that he didn't bring Firpo and Rothwell on. So there'll be no conversation and go, well, do you know what? He did actually bring on Ramazani and Joseph, and they did no. It won't be that. It'll be like, you just brought on Firpo. Take off Byron. Byron was good yesterday. Facts. Byron was good yesterday. Facts. It's another point on the board. We move on to Saturday. Yeah, Joe, at this point, we are 3 points better than last season and 5 points better than Biel's winning season. Exactly. Can people praise good defending anymore? It seems not, Sean. Seems not, mate. Yes, exactly. Exactly. If Burnley... Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I've said this, though, Anna. I've said for weeks, Leeds, Sheffield United, and Burnley finish third and win the playoffs. Because Burnley will just draw too much. I'm telling you now, like, there's so many games for us to look at and be like, draw for Burnley, draw for Burnley. Genuinely, half of the time, just notch every home game down as a draw. They drew with Derby at home. Do you remember that Derby that came to us the week before and we battered them and they looked like League One? They went to Burnley and got a result. They drew. At home, they are absolutely terrible because they set up that way. It's not great. They will just draw too many. Do you know Burnley's last 3 results? All draws. Do you know what score? All 0-0s. 0-0 against Leeds, 0-0 against Sunderland, 0-0 against Stoke. 1 win against Watford, 2-1. Oh, then a 0-0 against Burnley. So in the last 5 games, they've won 1, drawn 4. That's their wheelhouse. Let them do that. You know what we've done? Flipped it. 1 draw, 4 wins. That's the difference, you see. That's the difference. Away from home, they have 31 points. We have 22. That's where they're better away from home because they're set up that way. We will go for games. But just over the course of the season, as you can see, when we look overall, Burnley have drew 12 games of football. 12 games of football. Far too many. Morning, Joe. Have you heard any news on incomings? Well, we will get over onto transfers now. We'll stop discussing that. Before we do that, we've had a crazy super chat. Tyler Jones, big up to you. He says, "Have a good week." Thank you very much, Tyler Jones. That's an insane super chat. You absolute legend. So thank you so much for that. Have a good week. Enjoy, brother. Dave Did says, "Phil, we had held back a little from fear of losing. Happy with the point, to be honest, against a tough defence." Yeah, and I agree with that sentiment, Dave. I agree with that. But I'm okay with that. That's my point, I think, is that I'm okay with that as a result. I'm okay with that. Right, let's talk about some transfer news. So we saw late last night that Farker did say that he might be able to give us some information on transfers on Thursday. When he was asked, "Look, I've not checked my phone for 6 hours. I'll let you know. Could be some more information for you on Thursday," which will be when the press conference is. Then Popey said no sign of an imminent signing. So he sort of poured cold water on that. A few moments later, Popey came out and said, "Yeah, that's not happening." However, this morning, The Athletic have done their transfer piece with David Ornstein, and there has been some fresh links to Leeds United this morning, which we can have a chat and discussion about now. So the first one comes in the Liverpool section, and it is the Liverpool Academy striker. I don't know what's up with me today. Liverpool Academy striker Oakley Cannonier. How would you say that? It's like Tom Cannon, right? Yeah. Cannonier. Oliver. Yeah. Oakley. His name's not Oliver. Oakley. Central C. Liverpool Academy striker Oakley Cannonier is spending this week on trial at Championship promoters Chasers Leeds United. The 20-year-old played the final half hour in Leeds United's under-21s defeat against their West Ham counterparts in Premier League 2 on Monday. He was born in Leeds and played for Leeds at youth level before joining Liverpool in 2015, as you can see here. So he's a Yorkshire lad. He made headlines in 2019 when he was the ball boy who enabled Trent to send in a quickly taken corner for Origi to score that decisive goal against Barcelona. And it goes on to say, Cannonier has been a prolific goal scorer at youth level for Liverpool, but in recent seasons, his development has been hampered by injuries. I mean, look, new players linked to Leeds United, happy days, but why? Okay, so Cannonier, great, one for the future, 20-year-old, under 21s. Yeah, it doesn't excite me. Cannonier. Thank you, Mr. Dodo. Yeah, it doesn't excite me, I can't lie. So that's the first and foremost. We need a striker, a number 9, but I don't think Cannonier is coming in to be third choice. If Bamford's not fit, I'd rather Harry Gray. I don't know what the situation is with Harry Gray at the minute, but he has been playing of late, right? So that could be one for the future. And listen, if he was, and look, Liverpool are way ahead of us in terms of development and all that sort of stuff. But I think one for the future, Dr. Cox. Yeah, but we need players for now, don't we? But yeah, he's on trial. We shall wait and see. Talking of players that could be on their win. On their win. I'm tired. I didn't realise how tired I was, but I'm tripping over my words. So in the Newcastle section, which players could be leaving is the piece. It does say bids would also be considered for Matt Targett, given Lewis Hall is the established left back, and Leeds United have inquired about the 29-year-old's availability. Now I know this is one that got mentioned last year by a few people. At that point, he was playing. At that point, Newcastle didn't have that many players. If you remember, there was injuries all the time at Newcastle with that Champions League campaign, etc. This season, they've had Lewis Hall, Livramento play. Even Trippier's minutes have been limited. So Lewis Hall and Livramento have tended to be the fullbacks. Obviously, remember a time when Dan Burn was playing at left back, and then Targett, was injured, and then Targett came back. But even still, they still kept Dan Burn there. But then they got a load of injuries. But Lewis Hall obviously was brought in last summer, I think. Last summer, or January maybe. Didn't really break in, but this season has. And he's brought in, and as I say, Livramento as at right back. And Matt Targett's been brought in. But again, honestly, right now, I don't think we need Matt Targett. I also don't think he's obvious. I don't want to be going into the Premier League with Matt Targett as our left back, is what I'm saying. When was the last game or last time Matt Targett played football? I don't think a left back is what we need right now. Now, if this is for the summer, fair enough, but I still think you can get better than Matt Targett, especially in the European market, for probably a lot cheaper than what Newcastle will want for him. Plus, he's 29. Last year's. I'm not too sold on Matt Targett. If I'm honest, he was good at Villa, but like I say, I haven't seen much of him since then, and that's why I make that statement. He was good at Villa, as I say. So at Aston Villa, in his last season there in 21-22, he played 17 times. Season before that, he played 38 games, so he played all the Premier League games. He then played 17, then went to Newcastle. Obviously, Newcastle at the time were down the bottom end of the division when they brought him in. He made 6 starts. Then in the 2 seasons since then, he's played a total of 4 games. So in 2 seasons, he's played 3 in 23-24 and once in 24-25. And has had 2 games in Premier League 2. So he's played 3 competitive first-team games since 22-23. I'd rather Sam Byram. And that's no cap. I would rather Sam Byram. I don't think Targett makes sense. I just don't. Yeah, he was injured, Manjeet, you're right. But again, I don't think it makes sense for us. I don't think, especially when you're in the championship running and you have injuries concerns, you are at the twilight end of your career. I do believe he's on a big contract at Newcastle. In terms of, let's have a look. I will check, but I believe he was on a big contract when they signed him from Villa. Let's have a look. Just waiting for that to load. Sorry, I'm just having a look for him on here. I don't even think they're showing him, folks. Man, I haven't played that long. Oh, is there? Yeah, I thought it was 100 grand, 100 grand a week, Matt Targett. 100 grand a week. How much are you paying him? No, why, Manji? Why? Why do you want Matt Targett? Genuinely, I'm asking you. You're saying So what I would say to you, Manji, is you're very critical over last night's result. Therefore, you expect more. Then why are you then accepting a bid for or us inquiring about Matt Targett? It's on 100 grand a week. I remember it being a big deal. Man's played 4 games in 2 seasons. I would genuinely, exactly, Schmidt. You've got Schmidt. You've got Byram. You've got Wilber. I don't see point. I don't see point. But it does say Leeds have inquired about his availability. Why? Why have we inquired about his availability? Maybe it's in the summer. I'm not too sure. Maybe that's what they look for in the summer. It doesn't make sense for Leeds United to go after a left back now. We need a 10. We need a centre back, and we need a different profile of 9. We can talk about Pirro. I don't think it is, mate. 'Cause it's coming from the Athletic. It's coming in their transfer piece. It's not your clickbait stuff. It isn't your clickbait stuff, mate. I don't understand why Leeds United will be chasing a left back at this stage. Firpo leaving for a small fee, maybe. Yeah, I agree with you, Jamie. I do agree with you. People will be on board with it and say it's a good signing and that. I can imagine it now. They might change their opinion after watching this, but I think there'll be a lot that'll say yeah. I know some, yeah, not for me. Not Matt Targett. Like I say, 4 games in 2 seasons, or 3 games, whatever it is, 100 grand a week. So imagine what he'll want. We've got Byron, we've got Firpo, we've got Schmidt, we've got Vorber. Don't see the need for us to go and sign Matt Targett. Don't know why we're inquiring about him. The striker, again, he's a young prospect. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens on the transfer front. But, again, I'll be live if indeed something does happen. I'll be live tonight as well at 9. 8 or 9. I'm not too sure yet what time we're running with it. I'm not sure what time we're running with it, because obviously we just need to check with everyone. But we'll have the final word out as well. So make sure you join us for that. And if any transfer links happen between now and then I'll break it. I'd imagine we'll probably hear from our journos, who will probably then go ask the club about Matt Targett. Or we're seeing in the Athletic, you're after Matt Targett. Again, I don't think it's it's a good signing, but hey ho, that's me. Yeah, smash us a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in. I'm still confident we get a 9. I'm still confident we get a 10. Yeah, not so much the 9. Sorry, 10 and centre back, I reckon. But yeah, listen, smash us a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get your comments in. And I will see you later on. Big up, legends. Bye-bye.